Thank you.
So, how long have you been the kind of guy you are today? From what I have told you thus far, you can no doubt ascertain I was once a lonely, humble sort of person. Never mind, forget I asked. Listen up, everyone. Drinks are music. Drink all you want.
Good evening, everybody. I'm just gonna wait for a few of you to get on so I can give you these updates. What's going on, Brother Langley? Everything is okay. What's up, Juan? Brooklyn Pete, how you feeling, brother? How's things? How's the family? Brother Dale, what's up? I'm glad to hear that, Brooklyn Pete. Glad to hear that. All right, Juan. I could show you some of those movies. You know what I'm saying? Ramona, no problem. Brother Nas, what's up? What's going on, Brother Kemp? Sawaski, how you doing? I'm doing pretty good, brother. Doing pretty good. Sean, what's going on? I know you tired. I was kind of late out of MTV today, so this is the earliest I can get this done. Anyway, let's get started. Anybody who gets on a little bit later, they can catch this a little bit later. Anyway, so today and yesterday was a conference call on the subway disinfection and the routes and our play in this whole thing. So the Department of Buses schedule team has been working to achieve a schedule for the subway shutdown. They're calling it the Central Connector Plan. All right. As you already know, and if you haven't heard, it's going into effect Wednesday, May 6, 2020. That means it'll be Tuesdays. It'll be Wednesday's work that'll be done on Tuesday. All right. That work is between the hours of 1 a.m. and 5 a.m. Now, what we're dealing with here, just so you can get the gravity of everything, there's about 11,000 trips between the hours of 1 a.m. and 5 a.m. Half those trips occur between 4 a.m. and 5 a.m. The total number of pieces that will be involved to cover those trains that won't be running will be encompassing about 60 bus routes, and they're all going to be existing bus routes, and it's for the most part enhanced because many aren't normally there on a night side of things. So in other words, night bus service will be enhanced. The total number of pieces the Department of Buses has to fill is 345 pieces. 118 extras in the OA, 76 extras in the Brooklyn division, 32 extras in Queens North, MTA Bus Bronx Division Eastchester will have 5 full runs and 3 extras. MTA Bus Yonkers will have 24 full runs and 17 extras. College Point, which is Queens North, you're going to have 9 runs and 12 extras. LaGuardia Depot will have 10 extras. Queens South, which is Baisley Park, they're not getting anything in addition. Far Rockaway will have 1 run and 13 extras. JFK Depot, I'm talking about, will have 5 extras. And Spring Creek will have 23 extras, which totals over 340 pieces of work. All right, so question of if any of this work can be done on RDOs, and the answer will be yes. Also, the extras can be worked in the front of or in the back of an existing run. So you can, you can make some money doing this if that's what your choice is. Now, the flexibility will be allowed with the extras to make the extras full pieces through Wildcats. Check with your chairman. Your chairman will try to figure out how this work will be filled in your particular depots. Now, earlier today, we once again we continued on the central connector plan, where the schedules were released to the unions. All right, we had the pieces as of yesterday, but the actual schedule was delivered to the union today. All right, there will be both local and express service to accommodate the subway customers. Currently, there's no end date to the enhanced service. So a lot of people was asking that question, well, how long is this going to go on? And for the most part, people are going on what the governor is saying. So there's no scheduled shutdown on this enhanced service. There will be a very large and sustained police presence, and there'll be a large police presence in and around the subways, and there'll be a police presence in and around the surface areas with surface transit. Craig Cipriano did give, and for those who don't know, Craig Cipriano is the Senior Vice President for the Department of Buses, President of MTA Bus. He did give a contact to the Bus Command Center, so if bus operators start to see where the homeless start to migrate onto the buses, you can call the Command Center, and they will have a contact directly into the emergency operations of the police department. And they're supposed to act upon and help us out. All right? Now, there's a question on relaxing the salary cap. Now, the question for relaxing the salary cap is not the TWU entities. It's the ATU entities, because they haven't settled their contract as of yet. So there was an axe to relax the cap, and the answer to that hasn't been granted yet, but it's a better chance of happening than not happening, if everybody needs to work together to get this done. There was a question about the 4th RDO, because, we have a 3 RDO rule. So there's a question about the 4th RDO, just in case many of you may want to ask that question. I'll tell you right now, the DOB doesn't want to sacrifice that piece of safety, so it's gonna still be a 3 RDO rule. Any excused worker, such as what's currently going on in Eastchester and possibly other locations. Any excused worker who has the COVID excuse, when I'm talking about the COVID excuse, I'm talking about you work 2 weeks on, you got a week off. I'm talking about those folks. You will you if you want to partake in in this work, you can, but there won't be no further benefit to you. It's really not advantageous of you to do this work. If you're getting off, you might as well just stay home and sit it out. That's just my opinion. You do what you really want to do. The big agenda here is to keep the customers using our bus service to avoid the rideshare issue. Okay. So now, let me go on to the latest statistics. So, New York State COVID positives are up to 316,000. New York City has 174,000. The United States abroad is up to 1.2 million. Locally, with us in the Department of Buses, we have currently 1,190 positives, of which 684 have returned to work. On the quarantine, we have 898 quarantine, and we have 1,152 which have returned from quarantine. So the total return workforce as of today is 1,836 at this point in the Department of Buses. Antibody testing has continued. Some folks have had issues signing up. If you have issues, make sure you're not using Internet Explorer. You have to use a different browser, whether it be Firefox or Google Chrome. This week, the testing is in the different Macs. Next week, they will start to come out to the bus locations at 12-hour shifts. Now, just because you a bus operator doesn't mean that you have to do your antibody testing in a bus location. If there's a location that fits your current address more easier, you can sign up for that particular location, but you have to sign up online. All right. Moving along to bus operator protection barriers. Now, towards the end of the week, the Department of Buses will have some mock-ups to show the barriers on the express and local buses. This is for the near term. All right. And not ultimate, and it's not the ultimate solution. There's going to be an ultimate solution for the long term. The Department of Buses maintenance Chief Officer Frank Annacaro has been working with the vendors for a long-term solution. The 24-hour cleaning, which is a major challenge is a major challenge for the long term. The Department of Buses wants to use cordless, what they call electrostatic sprayers. But for now, a handheld fogger will be used. They supposedly cover phenomenally as far as the disinfecting of the buses go. It disinfects in minutes. The resumption of regular service, the Department of Buses doesn't have a date as of yet. In regards to the requirements that will be put on the Department of Buses, we have to be prepared as we near the May 15th, 2020 deadline. However, there is no definitive date as to when we will be starting back up. It's looking more and more like a June date, but once again, we don't have a definite date. And with that, I will answer your questions offline. I know for many of you it's getting late. I don't want to keep this long, and I apologize for starting this live a little late, but I was at the depot kind of late today, so I had to start up a little later. So I'll answer your questions offline, and everybody continue to be safe. One love. God bless.